was the first time I've ever done it. Really, I'll tell you, restrooms need some help. Some baby. But they're something whatever. But yes, Frank. When was this? Well, you wouldn't unless you can. Yeah. Getting in and out of the it is. No, there's two.
Kind of like our office space.
Yeah. They have a lot of thought process when
Sometimes they don't hire architects with the coaches.
Well, they didn't bring in the consultants that can help with what I mean.
What is
I'm
the
telling you,
master?
that
What is the
press
staff?
box is a disaster.
The press box?
Doing the PA work in there, you have the score clock and the microphone are in one room, soundproof glass over to where the computer controls and the sound systems are. So it's not controlled. You can't hear yourself inside anywhere. They elected not to put doors on each side of the press box because that was a cost. So you can't open a door or have even a camera in. They put 6 camera angles. They said we need 6 camera angles to broadcast the game. They put them all dead square center in the press box. Here's your 6 cameras. There's 6 pods.
Not what we meant.
All the same. So getting those 2 things out by the concession stands on the end of where they have those little platforms, that was a 6-month fight to get those in, so you at least have an end zone on each side. That was a massive fight. I went to Wichita Falls Rider.
You went to Ryder?
Why? Oh, there's a story here.
No, see if we could play them.
Well, y'all would have had them last week. Last year, if you'd have beat.
It's gonna be the same this year.
It's sundown in Texas, and the Mustangs are herding up.
Dog days of August, with the steam lash in the air. Practice driving to perfect, pushing to make it there. Our run is lifted, and the sweat is on the brow. Living our commitment, Friday nights show us how. Bam, and the Mac, Coach Hayes air attack. There's bells and a band sound. Make these sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in fall. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in fall. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Pre-game tailgates, Bobby Blue is in the air. Living our dreams through this Mustang DNA we share. Game day clocks and whistles ready at the go. No question about it, 'cause it's football, you know. Bam and the Mac, Coach Hayes air attack. There's bells and a band sound. Big D sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders and Billy's in fall. Sunset in Texas, this is Mustang football. Sun's down in Texas, living it up in the fall. The lights are heating up now, this is Mustang football.
This is Mustang football.
It's sundown in Texas, and
The Coach Mike Alexander Show is presented by the Kim Assad Group.
What we want to do with the Assad Group is just develop a team that is known for their integrity, for working hard and supporting their clients and just giving the best level. What we want to do with the Assad Group is just develop a team that is known for their integrity, for working hard and supporting their clients and just giving the best level of service, because that's what clients want. Hi, I'm Kim Assad with Compass Real Estate. I've lived in Texas since I was 11 years old, and we've lived in Grapevine since 2002. Grapevine is a great area to live in. We love the downtown area. It's like an old Western movie with log cabins. It's known as the Christmas capital of Texas, and we're really proud of our city. We love living here. Our kids grew up in the school district, Grapevine Colleyville ISD. We love their education and have been proud of just the relationships and friendships they've made in the community here. There's been all walks of life, from lots of stay-at-home moms to working parents that do a lot of volunteering for the schools. And that's really kind of how I've met a lot of my clients, is volunteering in the schools, whether I'm the teen mom or in the booster club, or volunteered with NCL National Charity League, or with my son through Second Saturdays. We've had a great time just meeting so many people in the community. I've been in real estate since 2000. I'm actually a civil engineer by degree, married a civil engineer, and then I got my real estate license back in 2000 and just have loved it ever since, because I love working with people and just the relationship. Real estate is really a relationship business. It's about developing relationships, somebody that trusts you, and that we can help them accomplish their real estate goals. I was a broker on my own before, and I joined Compass because I just love the image and the support that I have with Compass. I mean, our ads look so professional, our listings look so desirable, and it just helps the client out because I can get their homes sold faster. But I have the Assad Group under Compass. I've grown that with 2 agents initially that have been great agents, and then now my family's even joined. So my husband, who joined Compass about a year ago, and then now my son. You know, I just want to welcome your business, and if you have any real estate needs, whether you're looking for a rental, a purchase, to sell your house, or an investment property, just call me.
The Coach Mike Alexander Show is produced by Tradio.
About their quarterback, started in 1984, Lonnie Williams. Went from quarterback to tight end and played 11 years. You know the story of him? No. He was our high school.
Now, here's Carnes and Coach with this week's recap and DNA players.
Hello, Mustang Nation. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here for Week 6 of the Coach Mike Alexander Show, Team 102 season. Special thanks again to Kim Assad and Compass for sponsoring the show. Special thanks to Tradio for producing us tonight. And as usual, or normally we would have Coach Mike Alexander. Tonight we have a special treat. We're going to have the offensive and defensive coordinator with me. I got offensive coordinator Scott Lowy on my left, defensive coordinator Tanner Ansel on my right. Thanks for coming, guys. We had a big game Friday or Thursday night. I'm still not used to this Thursday night lights, so I guess it seems like it was a long time ago, because it was a long time ago. But Thursday night, Farrington Field, Fort Worth, played the Northside Steers. From an offensive standpoint and from the overall perspective, tell us what you thought of the game the other night.
Yeah, so they Northside had a lot of the same plan as Southwest. We've done a pretty good job establishing the run this year, and so they came out and really loaded the box. From the first snap, really through all the way through the fourth quarter, didn't really make an adjustment. Just kept loading the box, so that really opened up the passing game a lot more than kind of we've been in the past. So between Southwest and Northside, it's really let us open up and throw the ball down the field a lot more.
Well, even with that, you didn't have your 2 starting running backs. Caleb and Robert were both on the bench, so you move number 4, Parker Polk, who we're here from in a little while, back to running back. Tell us from an offensive coordinator standpoint what it's like to go from running back to running back to running back to running back to running back here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, starting off the year trying to find our identity. We knew what we wanted to be. Starting off the year, Caleb and Parker are really the only two skill players on the offense that had started a varsity game. And so the other three skill players and the quarterback just trying to get an identity, figure out, what exactly we do best. We know what our O-line's really good at. And so then, losing Caleb early and then playing with Victor for a couple games, losing Victor, bringing Parker back over there is going to, open up another spot for a new receiver to step in and get some reps. So it's really, giving a lot of the young guys opportunities to step up and learn. And, I think it's going to help us in the long run as we go. Caleb's coming back. We got Victor practicing again this week. So we start getting guys back. All this experience the younger guys get, it's really going to help us out.
And I said, Robert, my bad. That's Victor. Sorry about that, Victor. 72 points, so good job on that. On the defensive side, 14 points. So tell us what you were looking at from the defensive standpoint and what you think of the defense so far this year.
Going into this week, the focus from our staff standpoint is to start mixing in more calls because a lot of times in the current district that we're in, you could get away with being very vanilla and very basic, but we're trying to set our eyes on what are the things that we need to get reps at in order to be successful in the playoffs. And I was really pleased with our kids mixing it up quite a bit and them being able to execute at a pretty high level.
Well, outside of one play really in the first half, it looked like he pretty much had a shutout the whole first half.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, there was a scramble, which a lot of times quarterback scrambling has been our Achilles heel here since I've been here. Speaking of Achilles heels, I went through that one. And then some screen game has been a weakness this year as well. So a lot of the fast screens on the outside, which we've been trying to be diligent about that in practice and make sure that we take care of that. On top of that, before we started crediting 14 points, I don't want to step out too far, but I believe the last 7 was on a kickoff return. So yeah. 7 points.
Spoken like a true defensive coordinator right there. Coach A's not here. We'll blame that one on him, and he probably watching. At least I hope he is. If Coach, that's your fault if you're watching. Anyway, Breakfast of Champions, good as always, and I have to admit, I did tell everybody you need to be there and always be there, but I actually made a mistake this week, and I forgot. Woke up a little bit late, so I won't miss it this week. Men in the community need to be there, Breakfast Champions. It's good as always. But with that, we're going to get into the freshman and JV. I'll let whichever one of you want to talk first about the freshman and JV. You want to go? All right. Let's talk a little bit about the freshman and JV program we got coming up.
Yeah, so the freshmen, they're getting better every week. They played a really good Argyle team. They kind of came to them, and the freshmen are still really learning how to play high school football. It's been work each week getting them to be more physical and understanding that high school football is different from middle school football, and just kind of finding where all the freshmen, where they fit within our offense and defensive systems that we run. But they're getting a lot better each week, and they're a joy to coach. And the JV really got after North Side. We got to play. Everybody got to play, and everybody got a lot of reps and had a lot of success. So the JV's really been coming along too.
Well, Coach A talks a lot about Grapevine and how things come together once they get to Grapevine High School, and you two guys have to deal a lot with it because these kids are coming from different junior highs. They have not played together. So really until the middle of the first season, they really don't understand and know each other, and you guys are still learning all that stuff. Talk from an OC and a defensive coordinator standpoint in a minute. How do you have to deal with that? What's it take for you to learn how to place these kids in a position where they can be successful?
Well, yeah, offensively, we have things that we know we like, but then we just have to find, what do these kids do best and how can we put them in the best chance to win and be successful because, if we want to throw the ball 50 times a game, but we don't have quarterbacks that we feel like are comfortable throwing the ball 50 times a game or receivers or our offensive line's not great at pass pro, and then, we've got to kind of merge what we do to help them be successful. And so as freshmen, the beginning of the year, trying to find out, okay, what do these kids do best? How can we help them be most successful? Then as the year goes on, you find out, okay, so we can, throw the ball some. They're good at, running a slant route. They may not be great at everything, but just finding out what they're good at. And that kind of just, takes some time working with them.
And even then, you'll be moving them all the way through their career, as we'll find out here in a little while from one of our DNA players. So talk about it from the defensive standpoint when you're taking these kids that have never played together and figuring out where and how to place them on the defensive side.
I might be stepping outside of my lane just a little bit, but I think the main thing when you're talking about bringing kids from different middle schools is mostly the intangibles and the foundation and what you want to build a program with. A lot of that's Coach A talking about our DNA traits and trying to get that ingrained into each individual. And then it takes time, like you said, of creating the Mustang team instead of being, well, I'm from CMS and I'm from GMS and I'm from CTMS. From a schematic standpoint on my side of the ball, what I like to try to accomplish is have a system that is multiple, that you don't necessarily have to run everything out of. And so year to year, it's not the same as college ball where you can go recruit a kid and say he's a square peg and he fits in this square hole right here. Well, in high school, you don't always get to pick. You get what you get. So if you can build a system that can touch on different facets of defensive schematics or offensive football, whatever it may be, as the year goes or next season comes along, and you figure it out, like you said, as the season's kind of progressing, okay, this kid can do this well, this kid can do that well. And we do have bread and butter stuff that we start at. Obviously, at the freshman level, we say, hey, we're going to be a 3-3 personnel, and in order to teach the remainder of this system so we can pick from it, this is where we start. And then as a JV, you start adding other pieces and sliding this way as safeties and pulling that way as backers and adjusting to different formations. And some of that sometimes can cost you a little bit because kids think they have to think a little bit, right, before they can start reacting. Well, then as the season progresses, touching back on the JV game, this week you saw our JV defense hitting that level of reacting instead of thinking. And not to throw any unnecessary darts at people, the last series of the game, those guys were taking knees instead of taking extra plays because our kids were physical. They finally got and they're going to get more as they advance to varsity football, but they finally got, okay, here are the pieces of the system that are new to me this year, and now I don't have to think about it.
Well, as y'all talk about, and one of the traits is want to be the toughest team in Texas. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, and you see that progressing, that shows that the message is getting through.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Coach A does a great job with DNA traits and really, really putting value in the intangibles. Because what makes our kids special, what makes Grapevine special and separate from other places is we may not always out-talent somebody, but it's the intangible pieces. What's our attitude? We compete, we're tough, and so on and so on. And it's ingrained in these guys. They do push-ups every day, I'm pretty sure. Do we still hit those in the weight room? Yeah, every day, and they're repeating DNA traits nonstop. So credit to Coach A.
You can't see on camera, but Coach Anna was just making sure the players know that that's still coming if they need it. Well, with that, we'll move on over to the captain spotlight. Here, I'll take that for a second. We got a new feature that Coach Alexander threw in last week. It's the captain spotlight. This week we've got Parker Polk. Parker's no stranger to the show. He's been with us, I think, every week. So let's hear it for Parker. We'll see him here in a little while on the footage. He's number 4, and you see a lot of him. But as a captain, Grapevine Mustang captain, tell us what it means to be a Grapevine Mustang captain.
It's a big honor. I think it just means setting an example in everything you do, whether that's weight room, having the most energy, and practice, bringing energy, and just serving the team and doing everything you can to help the team.
Well, that is good to have you. Thanks for coming up for that. We're going to have you back here in a minute as part of the DNA trait. Let's bring Adrian White over. Adrian is this week's Fight Mustang DNA trait winner. And let's talk about you as a cornerback on the Mustangs. Tell us what you like most about being a cornerback.
So really my favorite thing about being a cornerback is just like knowing you have your own little island and knowing like that you're the reason why knowing like you're the reason why that the person in front of you is not going to score, not going to catch the ball, not going to get yards, and just having your own island. That's really the biggest thing that I would say is my favorite thing about playing corner.
And you said you do not ever watch Ted Lasso, right?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, he has good advice for some of his players. But the goldfish is the happiest animal alive. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because it has a short memory. And as a cornerback, you got to have a short memory, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, well, Ted Lasso would say be a goldfish.
Okay.
All right, so there's Adrian. Next up, we're going to have our quarterbacks, Colt and Walker, coming up. These guys have together have won the family trait. I'm asking the same question. I'll let them each answer it. So we got Colt and Walker Berryman here. Oh, come on in, guys. All right. So tell us, each of you, what you like most and what it means to be the Grapevine High School football quarterback.
It's a great honor to be the Grapevine quarterback. Honestly, quarterback's a great position. You can operate the whole offense. You get a lot of pressure, but it's good when it comes good. But when everything falls on your back, it's a lot of pressure. But it's an honor, and that's why it's an honor to be a QB, is because when all the pressure comes, you get all the glory. But when it doesn't, you have to make sure everybody's there. And so yeah, it's an honor.
Well, good. Let's hear from Colt. Colt, tell us what you think about being the Grapevine High School quarterback.
Yeah, I like it just because, no matter what, it comes down on you. So, if you play good, the team plays good, then it comes on you. But if stuff starts to fall apart, you're the first person they look at. And it's like being in charge,
Well, working together got you all the family award this week, so congratulations on that. And we appreciate it. You both have had a great year, 72 points last week, 51 the week before, so things are working. So keep it up. Next up, we'll have Andrew Vi. Now, Andrew was here last week when we were over at Main Event, and you've transitioned from quarterback to receiver.
Yes,
What's
sir.
the hardest part of transitioning from quarterback to receiver?
I'd say probably the hardest part was just learning my technique with receiver, and I'd never played something like that before. So getting off the press or just running nice clean routes be the biggest thing.
And as a senior, that's kind of a tough time to make a transition, I would think.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, I guess. I had all the spring ball and then the summer kind of leading up to the season to get prepared, but still learning every day.
Well, Coach Antle told me before the show he's got some history with Oklahoma State. Got a old friend from Wichita Falls who played quarterback for 3 years at Oklahoma State, transferred to tight end his senior year, very reluctantly went to tight end. Worst thing that ever happened to him, wound up 11 years in the NFL as a tight end. Worst thing that ever happened to him turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to him. So Sometimes it works out.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, there's Andrew Vi. Next up, let's have our Parker Polk come back up. He's a DNA trait player for Tough this week. What'd you do that made you the Tough DNA player of the week this week?
I got hit hard a couple times, but I always try to get back up and not let them think that they hit me hard.
Exactly when have you not gotten hit hard in a football game? Every time I've watched one of the games, I swear he ain't getting up.
Not too many times. Not too many times.
He gets up every single time. So, running back and receiver, you've kind of gone back and forth. Which one do you like the best and why?
Ooh, I like both. When I'm at running back, I miss receiver. When I'm at receiver, I miss running back. So, I think I just like playing both, and hopefully I get to keep doing that.
And you just like having the ball in your hand, don't you?
Yeah, and any way I can get the ball in my hand, I like.
Well, they found a good way to do it, and you found your way into the end zone a lot, so that's good. So congratulations on that for being the Tough DNA Player of the Week. Next up, we got Garrett Gardner. Garrett is the DNA Attitude Player of the Week, and you're only back for the second week, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you've been injured a lot your senior year. Talk about being injured your senior year and what you've had to do to come back and get back on the field.
Well, being injured my senior year is kind of the worst thing that could possibly happen. I mean, you're excited to play and ready to have your best season, but when it all falls apart, it kind of sucks. Coming back from that, it's important to get back in shape and get used to hitting people as hard as I can again.
Well, defensive coordinator and your coach is sitting right there, but act like he's not for now. Let's just talk about where are you in terms of coming back? Are you 80% back, 100% back? Where do you really feel like you're at?
I feel like I'm 100% ready to do everything I can to help the team.
Okay. Well, good. Well, that's why you have the attitude. You can see why you got the DNA Attitude Player of the Week. All right, well, let's go to our highlights. And we're going to start here with the offensive highlights, and we're going to let Coach Lloyd talk us through those.
Here we go. We got an outside choice route, so they're giving us one-on-one. Anytime we can get one-on-one, we like to take our shots and give our receivers a chance. So you see the box there. They got a lot of people in the box. That's going to be pretty consistent as we watch all these highlights. So here we go again. Another choice route. This time he ends up on the post, but once again, if you look at the top of the screen, well, I guess It'd be a different angle now to be over there on your right. They've only got one guy out there, and so if they've got one guy out there, we like our guy to win. And good route, good ball, good catch.
But he was down on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, they caught him down. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I was just happy he caught it. Good throw, good catch. Here we go. So we knew they were really going to vacate the middle, so we ran a little running back angle route right here, and Parker does a great job of catching it and then splitting the defense full speed. Yeah, you watch their linebackers right here. Watch that guy bail out, and so we knew we could just dump it down to Parker, and then Parker does what he does best, just run, not get tackled, score touchdowns. Here we go. So a little play action play we've been working on, sneaking the Y out of the backfield. It's good to get the Ys a catch every now and then. They do so much blocking, really unselfish players for us. See Roman, makes a good catch, able to make one miss and get down inside the 5. This is a good shot of it here. You see Roman coming from the backfield. Everything clears out. We just kind of drop it down to him. It's a good ball, another good catch, and then Roman making some good yards after the catch. Down on the goal line here, we saw that they were really squeezing the run. We saw there was no one in the middle, so another little goal line play we've been working on. Little pop play, sneak Andrew Vi through and give it to him high. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, we knew they were leaving the middle open. I think this was a 3rd down right before half. Parker had been playing running back. I said, Parker, you want to go score a touchdown? Come to receiver, run your cop route. So you see the middle is open right here. It's Parker at the top. He comes in, and Walker throws a line drive on him. There's a good catch. Nice job of Parker securing it through the contact. Once again, you see Parker's going to come right here in the middle. Good catch. 10 seconds before half. That was good. So the wider shot's going to be a better angle of this. So once again, we were getting a one-on-one with one of our receivers, so now we just got a glance down here at the bottom. Sammy does a good job winning, and then another good ball thrown right on his chest. Good catch, good route. Been throwing a lot of fast screens this game, and they started to come up and play tight, and Colt does a really good job right here. He pumps the fast screen and then throws it to Andrew Vi, who fakes like he's blocking. The wide should give you a better view. Yeah, down here at the bottom, see Drew Vi coming off the ball. He's going to fake block and then just slip up the sideline. Good throw by Colt, good catch by Vi, and then it's a good job by Vi of finishing in the end zone. There we go. Then we got the second offense in here. O-line, second offense did a great job getting in there, open up a good hole right here for Reed. Let's see what our next angle is. Oh, we got a slow-mo. Watch these guys. So these guys have put in a lot of work and haven't gotten a ton of reps in games, so it's great when they can go in there and really execute and keep the offense rolling. Oh, it's all right. I think this might be it. Yeah. So here we go. Another good play by the O-line. So we got the second O-line in here, do a great job. We got power called. You see this nice big hole. We got Garrick Moorhead pulling in there, gets a pancake block. So we're really proud of that second group stepping in there and not missing a snap. Keeping the scoring going, moving the ball on the field.
Well, offensive line's done a great job all year. Let's go to the McKinley and Hutchings certify the numbers here and talk about the stats at the end of the game.
Yeah, so you look at it once again. We're still going to get our rushes in, but they were packing the box, and so we really got to throw the ball a lot. You see, they threw there for 390 yards, 6 touchdowns. A lot of those they're giving us one-on-one matchups, and we trust our receivers to go win. And our quarterbacks are doing a great job of seeing it and giving them a chance to make a play on the ball. And the O-line and running backs and tight ends are doing a great job blocking in there. So it really gave us the opportunities to win those one-on-ones.
Well, over the past few weeks, scoring has not been an issue for the Mustangs, so that's good. We'll hopefully keep that going this week in upcoming game we'll talk about in a little bit. Now let's go talk about some defensive stats, and let's see if you can do this without getting too deep into the defensive weeds on us, so DC, because I know this guy can get pretty detailed on the defensive side. But let's take a look at these and tell us what's going on.
All right, I'll do my best not to go too deep. On this first one, I believe their number one run play was ISO, a man scheme where they're trying to isolate a B gap or an A gap. So part of the way is to take care of that. Like if you're too high, you want to chop the box up. If you're one high, you can add more hats in the box to account for it. I think I already messed up. So Tyler Mears was on a bullet, and the other two linebackers cleaned it up, working off a slant. Here's a 5-man on a passing situation. The old NCAA, we call this Cincy to the field, Bingle to the boundary. Tristan Sneed, very athletic, slants, runs right by the guard. Latham and Tristan get half a sack. Let's see what we got here. Can't go too long on dissecting this stuff. Okay, I believe this is a 4th and 1, and the Jet Black's a double edge. There should only be one A gap. He finds his way into that A gap, wadded up. Ball didn't go through the B gap, so thank you to the end and the anchor on that dude. Love the slow-mo. Thank you very much. Gives me more time. Leighton, that's so hard, by the way. Leighton and Latham, trying to say those names every day in practice. But those two are responsible for A to C, and you can see them vicing the ball together there. Obviously, more hats, more white hats to the ball. Well, they're both white hats. More Mustang hats to the ball, the happier I am. So we got off the field on that one. Double it up on the slow-mo. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, they're trying to run some type of zone read RPO, it looks like, and once again hit him with a Cincy. Once again, Tristan's too athletic for that guard, and then Latham comes free as well. So credit that as another sack, I believe. Nope, I think that was it. Oh, well, that's a different call then. That's stab. Okay, this is the one that no. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up. The previous play was stab. That's blood. So the corner's coming from the boundary. Tight then wide. Thanks, Coach Boy. You're the boss. This is the same play. So they're hitting a little soft sprint out, and he pulls him up, and then from the backside, we've seen this one quite a few times, like Northwest game last year. That won the game.
That was Savion coming off the edge, right?
Again, yep. And the cool thing about that one is a lot of times in our too high structure, we'll trap a corner. I'm probably telling people too much about this, but we'll trap a corner to make it look like he's coming, and then he doesn't. He drops into coverage. I missed out on this one, but once again, Coach Lloyd's got me ready to go. Tight then wide, so here's the wide. Another Cincy for another sack. Did I call it that many times? Oh, he threw it away. I don't remember calling it that many times. What we got? So our 2Ds in now, which shout out to our 2s. They're very, very diligent in practice, and they take end zone shot. Thank you. They take it serious that when they get their opportunities and their plays to get better, that they're not going to give up any more points, and they didn't. I think that's been 2 or 3 weeks in a row they've done that. And you can see there Gallardo just running the ball and getting on it. So there's another takeaway there.
He's got to love that. Well, let's take a look at the McKinley Netching certified the numbers on the defensive side as Trey and Tradio put these together for you. Talk about the stats and how it looks as a defensive coordinator. Look at this.
1.9 per rush is pretty nice. I don't necessarily like 71 because I knew how much of that came off of one play. But 1.9 is nice, and that comes from guys doing their job and playing together. On defense, if one guy messes up, an offense can capitalize on that and make more yards than they should. And this day and age, it's all about limiting big plays and not letting them score. So.
Well, there's that. Moving forward, we come back to Mustang Panther Friday night, and we got Fort Worth South Hills. The Scorpions come to town. Tell us what we're looking for with the Scorpions this year.
Once again, like most Fort Worth schools, their athletes a lot of times are playing quarterback number one, which is difficult when you have quarterback run game, which we see in practice now quite a bit. It adds a number that it's hard to account for in defensive football. There's different ways to try to account for it, but a lot of times you're giving them what they want on the outside if you truly, truly have to take it away in the box. So that'll be a challenge. They have an athlete at quarterback again, so they run some quarterback sweeps and quarterback ISOs like other Fort Worth schools, and then just keeping our DBs disciplined enough to not fall asleep when they finally do want to take a shot. They don't throw too much downfield. They do want a high-low, a safety on a Mills concept. That's probably too much information. But quick game, they do hit a lot of like jet, what we call jet. We call it HBO in our office. I don't know why we use different language, but we do. Hitches and fast screens, which has been a challenge for us. So I'm excited that we get to see it again and get better at it.
Well, let's look at the talk about their what you're looking for from the offensive side with the Scorpions this year.
Yes, South Hills. I mean, they're sound. They line up. They show a couple different looks. Their coaches do a great job getting their kids lined up. They don't do a ton on defense, but what they do, their kids do well, and they get lined up, and their kids play hard. They haven't had just a ton of team success this year, but they do get lined up well. They're going to try and make us earn every yard, and I'm really excited to get to the game.
Well, it'll happen 7 o'clock. Mustang Panther, be there 7 o'clock Friday morning. Make sure you're there. Breakfast of Champions. It's always worth it. Bring enough food for the coaches and the players. Message that we all need to hear, and I'm not going to forget it and miss it this week. But 7 o'clock Mustang Panther Stadium will be there for the game. Next week we have the coaches show at Classic Chevrolet, so that'll be fun. Get to come out check out some new vehicles while we're going through the show. Special thanks again to Kim Assad for everything and sponsoring this year. Special thanks to Tradio for hosting us. Special thanks, let's hear it for Chick-Fil-A here tonight. And hopefully we'll have Coach A back next week. We'll see you next week.
It's sundown in Texas, and the Mustangs are herding up.
Friday nights show us how. Bam, man, the Mac. Coach Hayes, our attack. His bells and a band sound. Make these sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in form. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in form. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Pre-game tailgates, Bobby Lou is in the air. Living our dreams through this Mustang DNA we share. Game day clocks and whistles ready at the go. No question about it, cause it's football, you know. Bam, and the Mac, Coach Hayes, air attack. There's bells and a band sound. Big D sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders and Billy's in fall. Sunset in Texas, this is Mustang football. Sun's down in Texas, living it up in the fall.